The film begins in the future after the world is destroyed. Some scientists have tried to save what is left of the planet, and they have come up with the idea of a total transformation. Everyone who reaches their 16th birthday will undergo a life-changing surgery. Make them a more perfect version of yourself. Because scientists believe that when people become equally perfect, all conflicts between them will disappear. At this time, we meet a girl named Tallis, who is not yet 16 years old, standing in front of the mirror and looking at herself. She asked the tech mirror to show a better version of herself. The mirror showed the image of the Tally after plastic surgery. Then I met my friend Mary. They look through the glasses of technology to see the big festival for those who have become perfect. We know that anyone who has not undergone plastic surgery is not allowed to go out or attend such parties. Tally is very waiting for the day she turns 16. Mary tells her that in 3 months, she will turn 16 and her life will change. At the same time, Barry will turn 16 tomorrow and will also have a plus life-changing surgery. However, he was worried about his new life. Therefore, Tally said that at least he would be more beautiful and no longer have a long nose. At this point, we see that both Tallis and Paris have a scar on their hands that symbolizes the promise that they will not abandon each other. All those under the age of 16 attend a meeting with Dr. Nadia, who welcomes those who are about to turn 16. She says that they will become perfect, beautiful both on the outside and on the inside, and all the discrimination and hatred will disappear because they are all beautiful and different. Those who had turned 16 were invited to the stage and hugged their home palace tightly before parting with him. She reminded him not to forget their appointment at the bridge after a month. Tally recalled the first day she met Paris, and they became close friends. One day, when the Brioche was injured in his hand, we decided to inflict a similar wound on his own so that they would have the same scar. Then we see Italy learning about the reasons for the destruction of the planet and talking about a genetically modified flower called the white tiger flower that saved the planet and their future. The days passed, and I was very waiting until I was 16 years old. Suddenly, Italy lost contact with Barry, which annoyed her. When she arrived at the bridge to meet Paris as promised, she did not see him there. Deciding to climb the bridge, she saw the city and the perfect people happily celebrating like every night. There, she found a mask on the ground. When put on, her outfit suddenly changes and everything around her becomes stunning and perfect. Callie was surprised that she finally got to see the perfect world she dreamed of. But when he saw Paris again, he looked a little different. After plastic surgery, although she felt happy, Burai's was surprised and asked, "How did she get into the city?" Tali is surprised by Burai's attitude, noticing that his personality has changed and he has become cold, no longer emotional. He said that when she became beautiful, she would understand. He also revealed that he had removed the scar on his hand. At the same time, the government discovered that there was an ugly person in the city. Tali hurriedly grabbed the flight jacket and tried to flee before being caught. But unfortunately, the government plane saw her. A friend named C suddenly pulled her back to fly with her on a glide device and escape from the plane. They returned to their building and chatted all night. Bill wants to know about the city and the perfect people. We say that everything is as promised by the government. Each sin is the possibility of losing a lover because he has changed very differently than before. Seeing this, she immediately comforted me so that she could forget about it. The next day, he decided to teach us how to use the repair equipment. At first, I failed, but I patiently trained her until she succeeded. One day, she said that she wanted to go to the foggy area, but I thought that the area was just a legend. There are a lot of people just like us who live there, and no one forces them to have plastic surgery to be perfect and loved. The important thing in the fog area is the value within a person. Tali is shocked by what she says and warns that if anyone finds out about them, now their surgeries will be canceled and they will be ugly forever. However, Bill surprises Tallis by revealing that she doesn't want plastic surgery and wants Tallis to run away with her from the artificial world they live in, away from the strange technology that is turning them into prisoners to live freely in a natural world. Callie gets angry and tells Xiao that she doesn't want to be free, but wants to be beautiful and perfect, wants to go back to the city because she doesn't want to be ugly and shunned by others. The car gives me a map leading to the Maple Fog area when she changes her mind and wants to go to it. Construction says that this map is encoded with secret symbols that only construction can understand. Say then breaks up with Tallis sadly because she has to leave and go to the foggy area where the days pass and the day we turn 16 years old. But she found out that all the people her age had finished her surgery. Suddenly someone from the government came and took her to Na's office. There, Callie is worried and meets Najar. People ask her about building because she is missing and they don't know where she is. Tali denied knowing where to build it. So Nyack told her that her surgery will be postponed because they needed her help. After that, Callie sat in his room sad, and suddenly Burai's came to visit. She tells him about what happened and that her surgery was postponed because she did not reveal Sun's whereabouts. Perry advised her to tell the government about Shaze's whereabouts so that she could have surgery and become as beautiful as he lived together in the city. Otherwise, she will forever be ugly, isolated, and live in a building for ugly people. Then I met Nadia, and Naya told her about a man named David, the head of the foggy area. David is developing weapons to destroy the perfect world they have built with cutting-edge technology. Hallie is surprised and asks why they want to destroy the world. She knew that the building was currently being controlled by David after he disturbed it. Her thoughts make her hate the perfect world. Now asks Court Lee to find the foggy area, and she will be joined there as a spy. Report back to the government on their plans and actions. When completing the task, Italy will be operated on to become as beautiful and perfect as she dreams every day. Now gives her a secret necklace, so she can send a signal when they detect their weapon. Italy begins its journey to find the foggy area, following all the directions on the map. Yes, she spent many days and nights on the road exhausted because the journey was very difficult. Meanwhile, Perry sat with him and thanked him for helping convince me to find the foggy area. Paris confides in her that he misses Talise when he sees her and thinks he'll never feel it again. Nay, he said that the palace was one of the few people who had been chosen to develop a new path of transformation that would make his mind clear and different. Meanwhile, Talise suddenly saw that everything around her was on fire, and she began to choke on smoke. Suddenly, David appears with a device that detects any spy device from the government. Callie fears that David will discover her necklace is a tracking device, but he only discovered the device on her skateboard. After Italy arrived in the foggy area, she met Save again, and the two were very happy to see each other. As they sat down, I tried to convince David to go back to the city with her, but he got angry and asked me to leave. Tali apologized and said she needed time to understand what was happening. The car agreed to keep Tali's hesitation a secret and wanted to return to the city, and advised her to get to know the people here and find out the truth for herself. Later, Tala discovers that David and his team are burning a rare white flower. When she asks why, David explains that this flower was created by the government to destroy every other crop on the planet and prevent anyone from living outside of government-controlled areas. Then they boarded a plane to burn more of these flowers. During the flight, two government agents appear and try to confront them. Callie is terrified of the build and runs after her to save her and succeeds in rescuing the build before the two return to the plane and escape. After escaping, Droid suspects that she may be the reason the government is spying on them. But David, who defends us, insists that her brave act to save the building proves her loyalty. Tali felt confused at night, not knowing who was right and who was wrong. In the morning, she discovers that the inhabitants of the foggy region grow their own food and work in the fields are not as dependent on genetically modified foods as she once thought. In the evening, David talks to people and says that the government will never stop chasing them because the government wants people to feel ugly and flawed, make them look for plastic surgeries and the perfect life in the city. David insists that it's all just a plan to keep people away from education and knowledge. Charlie began to believe David's words and felt more comfortable living among these people. The next day, David began to teach Italy how to use weapons, and there seemed to be a mutual admiration between them. David gives his gloves to protect her hands as a symbol of special care. During training, Tali discovers an injured inhabitant of the fog region and decides to help her stop the bleeding. Later, Save notices that Italy is wearing David's gloves and realizes that David has feelings for Tali because they are his favorite gloves. Feeling more confused, Talis went to David and bluntly asked if they were building weapons to destroy the government. David is surprised by her question, but decides to introduce her to his family. Italy found out that David's parents had been plastic surgeons and had worked with the government, but they found that plastic surgeries cause brain problems and affect people's emotions, make them become insensitive and no longer care or think about anything else. When the Najjar discovered their intentions, she took away their studies to try to destroy them because she wanted to have complete control over everyone. David's parents then decide to flee the city to try to spread awareness and protect people. At that point, David's mother gave him a serum that they had created to treat anyone who had undergone a complete transformation during plastic surgery. It was the weapon that Najjar wanted to destroy. The suitcase throws the necklace and fire to set it on fire. She then turns around and tells David that she wasn't completely honest with him in the first place. She had believed in Nadia and could not imagine the brutality of the government. David tries to comfort her. She says he understands and won't notice anything she's done before because she's been deceived and doesn't know the truth. The next day, government soldiers attacked the foggy area. A fierce battle ensues, and David and I escape. When they are hiding, Tali saw the palace among the soldiers. Now shows up and talks to David's parents, asking them to reveal where David is hiding, but they refuse. Nayan orders Davies father-breasted, causing David and rushing to him in despair. Now to thank Tali for participating and helping her, but Tali got angry and ran away. She burns all the gasoline and takes up arms to confront the Nadia and the soldiers, but is not strong enough and has to flee. Naya's soldiers burn down the entire fog area and destroy David's parents' laboratory. At night, Charlie finds David and he attacks her in anger because he thinks she has betrayed him. However, she explained that she burned her necklace to prevent anyone from finding them and did not know that when the necklace was burned, it sent a signal to Na. She apologized and said she didn't know the truth about the government when she arrived, but now she understands that true beauty is in the intellect and the soul is not in the appearance. Tali convinces David that she will go with him to save his mother and others. Suitcase returns to the building where the ugly people are imprisoned in the city and tells friends that the fog area is real. David is real and his books are real too. Everyone was surprised and decided to help David and Tali. They send smoke signals to the sky with the message of living with the fog and decide to take the key of the guard to free everyone. However, Tali was shocked to learn that she had been taken into the operating room to force her to undergo plastic surgery. They tried to come to save the building, but it was too late. Zace has completely changed both his appearance and personality to become emotionless. Now, Cum and EP David, his mother Tali, into the surgical tubes to do the surgery on them. Meanwhile, the droid attacks the facility to save David and the others. When I run away, she meets Paris again and tries to remind him of their memories. But David attacks Barais to avenge his father's death. Mary fought back against David very hard. It made me have to push Paris out of Sad Abbey. Paris fell from the top of the building and died. Finally, we helped David's mother get the truth about the government out to everyone who has undergone plastic surgery so that they can convince people to take the serum and go back to the way it was. Italy then surrendered itself to the government. She underwent plastic surgery as part of David's mother's plan to secretly give the serum to everyone. When people see Lee return to their natural state, they will drink the same serum as her. The movie ends here. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the latest videos.